Now, for my students that took my sewing class in person, and you're thinking, I don't need to watch this lesson, I've got a bonus for you. And the bonus is we're going to add applique to our coasters and make it special. So let me show you how we're going to do that. We're over here at my table, and what we're going to do, we've started with our fleece backed fabric. You have to do this before you sew it together. Once you sew it together, you do not want to add the applique. So what I've done, I've put heat and bond on the back of this. I have not adhered it to it yet. It is still, and what I'm going to do is cut around the edges. I don't have to do it perfectly at this stage. I'm kind of OCD. And once I get started with something, it's hard for me to So we're going to kind of cut it around. And I would be sure want to get off this excess heat and bond, because if I don't, okay, that's good. Because all I want to do is get off this excess heat and bond from the edges so it doesn't accidentally stick my iron or my ironing board. So I'm just cutting off this extra heat and bond and some of the fabric if it's there. And then once I heat up the heat and bond, I will go ahead and cut off the rest of the design. But for now, I'm just getting off this excess paper because I do not want to mess on my ironing board. This is really a fun little project, and it'll actually add some flavor to your house. And you'll probably get some requests from friends and family that want you to make them a set. And I probably have too many cut out, but that's if you want to make 4. I thought these were nice and summery. That's why I chose the fruit. I think it just thundered outside. Or maybe someone's doing fireworks. Okay, I'm going to take this over to my cutting board. Not cutting board, my ironing board. And we're going to iron this. So what we're going to do is just iron the top of it. Press it rather. Don't iron, press. You want to put some pressure on it. Melt that glue. Make sure it's on there proper so you don't iron, get stuff all over your iron. Ask me how I know that. I've done this many times. And what you're doing when we're making these are actually really cute. It's a very thin glue. Makes great appliques. And it helps hold your project in place before you sew it. I have Heat and Bond Light. They have different levels of intensity. They have light, they have medium, and then they have heavy. Do not use the heavy if you're going to sew. You would use heavy if you're doing a craft project and it's not going to go in the laundry. Like if you was making a image that you're going to hang on the wall, you could use the heavy. But if it's going to go in the wash, You definitely want to use the light so you can sew it onto your project. Aren't these cute? So the next step is to cut out the designs. I'll do that without you watching or you'll be bored silly. Okay, so I've got them all ironed on. Now I'm going to cut them out. Okay, so I've cut these out. And what I've got, remember I made two of these. One is the top and one is the bottom. I do not want to add applique to the bottom. We're just going to add it to the top. And I really like it laid out like this. So what I'm going to do, this heat and bond has a paper backing. So we peel the paper off. See the glossy? That's the glue. So we position it where we want it. Now I take the backing off of this one. You should see the glossy. Now position it here. See it? Isn't that cute? So now when I press my iron, it will actually glue these to my fabric. You press it and hold it, press down on it. Give time for the glue to melt. Then I'll iron these lines out that my iron created. Okay, isn't that beautiful? So now we're going to sew that. We're going to applique it. So now we're going to applique this. Once again, you want to use a fabric that matches what you're doing. Because I want you guys to see what I'm doing, I'm not going to. When I applique, I like to use a zigzag stitch. So I'm going to use, where is it? Number 4. I set my machine up. Make sure that this is J. That's the foot I have on my sewing machine. Make sure it's the same foot. And then I want to extend my stitching a little bit. We'll make that 5. All right. When I sew, I want this line in my foot. There's a line right here in my foot. I want that line to follow the contour of my project. So I'm going to start here for no other reason than because it's convenient. I'm going to take my time, see how it's sewing on both sides of it. Because I have a regular foot in there and not what do you call it? There's a stitching foot that you use, and I cannot think of it for the life of me. If you can think of it, put it in the comments. Take your time. See how my hands are guiding the fabric? And I just follow the edge of my line with that. You just go around and around. Yeah, simple design. You don't want anything complicated. And there we go. There we go. I just appliqued that. Isn't that pretty? Now, I'm going to put my two sides together. Front facing fabrics, put them together. Line the fabrics up. Pin or clip, just like we followed in the previous step.